Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Crowley and today I'm going to be presenting work conducted alongside Amir Jabadi and Yake Tamanin looking at the associative structure of new word representations. So we know that when we learn a new word, they become integrated with existing similar words and semantic knowledge in the mental dictionary. We wanted to know more about the associative structure within these words. So to do this, we trained participants to associate written word forms with pictures and sounds to form these word triplets, and we tested whether they formed fragmented or holistic representations. Crucially, retrieval dependency is a behavioral measure which tells us if a group of elements have formed a holistic representation. So if retrieval dependency is significantly above 0, that tells us that our word triplets have formed a holistic representation. So therefore, the aim of experiment 1 was to see whether retrieval dependency emerged immediately after encoding. And the aim of experiment 2 was to see how retrieval dependency unfolded over the course of 1 week of forgetting. So specifically during encoding, participants first saw a word form and they had to retype the word form, and then they would see all 3 elements of a word triplet together on the screen, and their task was to come up with a definition for the non-word that involved the picture and the sound interacting. So for example, here they might say flamir is the word we use to describe a baby who's crying because their balloon has flown away. During tests, participants were presented with cue items and they had to select which of the 6 options below was presented with the cue option during learning. What did we find? Well, the results from experiment 1 show that retrieval dependency was significantly above 0. So this tells us that our word triplets had formed a holistic representation immediately after learning, where the elements had become bound together. But what happened over the course of forgetting? Well, here we can see that accuracy drops significantly by the delayed test session, which tells us that forgetting does occur for both tested and non-tested triplets. Tested triplet was one which was tested at both the immediate and the delayed test session of experiment 2. And a non-tested triplet was one which was tested only at the delayed test session. So what form did this forgetting take? Well, here we can see that again, retrieval dependency is significantly above 0 immediately after learning in experiment 2. But when we look at the delayed test session, retrieval dependency is no longer significantly above 0 for non-tested triplets. Interestingly, though, retrieval dependency is significantly above 0 for the tested triplets. So what can we conclude? Well, these findings tell us that our lexical memories seem to form initial holistic representations where the elements became bound together, but that over the course of forgetting, these lexical memories fragmented, so some elements could be retrieved in the absence of other elements. But we also show that the extra opportunity for retrieval practice at the immediate test session for tested triplets seemed to protect against this forgetting-induced fragmentation. Interestingly, these findings are also at odds with findings from the episodic memory literature, which show that event memories don't fragment and instead they're forgotten in an all or none manner, whereby all elements are either forgotten or remembered. So we suggest that it might be that the arbitrary link between form and meaning is more difficult to maintain than that of event memory.